is CGTN, China Global Television Network.
嘛事儿
啊？
什么事儿？
就是那个我们在上来联系那个中国黄页，给国家体委做宣传的事儿。
什么玩意儿？什么黄什么？
中国黄页。中国体育这个名字我们注册下来了，大概里面都空的。
办事程序应该你先约，你要不约的话呢，很难给你做一个很满意的回答。
网上现在迈克尔·乔丹啊，约翰· Johnson， 你打开电脑，你都能见到这些人的自己做的 homepage， 我怎么的，我怎么的，我们为什么？中国人没有，中国没有一个都没有。失败了也无所谓，我至少把一个概念告诉了别人。我不成功，会有人成功的。
When I started Alibaba, early days were so tough for me. Very few people thought about helping. So today, I'm able to help. First trip to Africa, my impressions were, wow, it's a land full of hope. In Africa, there are so many young people who could be entrepreneurs. They believe what they're doing and they want to make this thing big. So what if we have Africa Bill Gates, Africa Jack Ma? I realized that I have to do something. The African Entrepreneur Prize is giving the inspirations to all the entrepreneurs in Africa. I think we should make them heroes. If the heroes succeed, a lot of people want to be heroes. They can start their dream and change the continent.
Tonight, 10 entrepreneurs from the African continent will pitch for a live competition for a share of $1 million in shared money.
When I knew that the finalists would be pitching to Mr. Jack Ma himself, he said, this is one thing I want to do. So this is an amazing opportunity to deliver our messages.
When you're an entrepreneur, you sacrifice so much, right, for a vision that maybe others don't even see it. They've never seen somebody like me be successful. If we get the top prize, it's going to revolutionize the company.
When you mention Liberia, people think about poverty, the war, Ebola. This is an opportunity to show a different side of the Liberian story.
Give science a chance in Africa.
What was killing African women?
I'm just the one that is the less afraid of being in front of you guys, honestly.
2 billion people still don't have access to clean water.
We want to solve the malnutrition problem.
Ladies and gentlemen, the moment of truth is here.
And the first place.
All I can say is you guys are already winners. You guys have already won. We owe you some checks at some point. We want you to succeed because we want you to inspire them.
When we started that competition, I thought maybe I end in top 20 maybe, but top 10, this was very exciting.
I was waiting for that email. I kept looking, I'm like, oh. I kept asking the others, were you contacted? If you're top 10, if they want somebody who's earned the right to dream, they need to select me.
All right, Christelle Kuzera, have a company in Rwanda called Water Access Rwanda, which is all about providing clean drinking water through affordable and scalable means.
Hello everyone, my name is Omar Sakr, I'm from Cairo, Egypt. I'm running Nawa Scientific. You can imagine us as a research center that works online.
We are trying to get Africa to feed itself on the world.
So if you have any question of any of the 3 countries,
Every one of them is solving an actual problem. They all have successful businesses. I told myself this will be a very intense competition.
Almost 10,000 businesses from across Africa, and to have us, a small company from Liberia, being in the top 10, I was really shocked. When I saw the email, I could not believe.
Africa's next billionaires.
Say that again.
You know, entrepreneurship sometimes can be a lonely journey, especially when you come from a country like Rwanda that is landlocked. We don't have a long history of trade. I was born 4 months before the genocide, so I'm actually as old as the new Rwanda is. It's like, you know, we've destroyed as a country, but we're gonna actually build a good country on the continent. But there's still things we need to take care of in our, like, that our generation will need to fix. Water was a big issue in my country. There is 43% of Rwandans who don't really have access to water. People may die because of looking for water. Yeah, so that's the crocodile. 2 women have died and 1 man. So before they used to come and they're getting water here. That's how the crocodile would get people. Water is life, but this water is not life. This is death.
Ndabyibuka cyane cyane nk'iyo mbonye iriya foto buri munsi urabona ko iba iri muri salon yo ndabyibuka. Umugore wanjye amaze kubura muri ariya mazi ntabwo nongeye gusubira kuri Nyabarongo.
Every day in Africa, 200 million hours that women lose on fetching water, just looking for water. They fetch that water and it's not even clean for their families.
Nasangira nande. Natanu. Noneho umwana aza kugira ikibazo rero cyo kurwara inzoka kubera amazi mabi. Ibimenyetso nabonye bari bafite indwara, ikimenyetso cyo guhitwa, kuruka, cyane nibyo byabinyeretse umwana yaretwaga akanaruka. Ibi byanteye impungenge kubera ko nabonye ari ibintu bidasanzwe, byanteye ubwoba niyo mpamvu nihutiye kujya kumuvuza. Noneho umwana aza kugira ikibazo rero cyo kurwara inzoka kubera amazi mabi. Impamvu nuko nta yandi mazi twabonaga hafi, ntahandi hantu washoboraga kuva ahantu hari amazi, byari urugendo rurerure nk'amasaha 3, kandi nk'umuntu w'umubyeyi ntabwo nashoboraga kujya kuvoma mu masaha 3 ngo ndongere ikindi nkore.
If they drink the water without purifying, the kids will get sick, some people dying from diseases like diarrhea. So my business as a social enterprise is looking at providing the infrastructure, the treatment of the water before it's delivered to population. I want to win, so I want to use my 5 minutes to tell them something new, not something they've already heard. If we get the top prize, it's going to revolutionize the company.
I'm the only science-based startup that made it to the finalists. It's a great responsibility. You have to be very careful. I do believe Egypt has a lot of bright-minded scientists, but unfortunately they don't have access to advanced scientific research facilities. So what they could do is only they have to outsource their samples and send them to Europe and to the US. $100, 100 euros per sample, and you usually send like 20, 30 samples. So you can send something between $5,000 to $10,000 on this one project. When I first went to Geneva, entered the lab and see all those high-tech equipment in one place, I felt like, wow, very big eyes. I see a window that I have to go through very quickly. I want to start my project before someone else gets the idea. A central hub that works online.
If Omar wins, I'll be very, very happy. An Egyptian wins this competition. I think it means a lot.
I don't think 5 minutes is enough. I've been doing this now for 6 years. Everything. I want the judges to know about everything. The first time I heard about AMPI, finding business heroes, was something that appealed to me. I come from a country where there aren't too many young people who are doing entrepreneurship. Many people don't really see business as a viable path. My old school is there. During the war, the entire city was destroyed. It was a very traumatic time because we knew that people were getting killed every day. We had people shooting guns all over the place. Like now, I cannot listen to firecracker. Kids in other countries were having normal childhoods, normal lives, and we were going through this war where we were struggling to just survive. The difficulties we have in the economy in Liberia now are very much tied to the long years of civil conflict. About 54% of Liberians live on less than $2 a day. There were lots of sad things happening around us in the country, but because we had family members, they tried as best as they could to create a normal environment. How you doing, Mom? How I was like when I was small. My father's aunt is a central figure in our family. She did not go to school, and she used her profits from the business to educate so many people. Through that restaurant there, it transformed 2 or 3 generations within my family.
Omar, okay, sorry, your chicken again, oh. I said, that chicken there, all my chicken, why you kidding? I said, you will pay for it. And he paying. Because he learned, and he moving far, no complaint. He don't humble nobody. I tell God, thank you. Yes.
And so it definitely did shape how I view the world. My entire philosophy on doing business is to empower people, to provide opportunities for people to earn money. It's very important for people to have sustainable livelihood opportunities. And so when I started my business, in a way, I saw it as my own contribution to the post-conflict reconstruction effort in Liberia.
Tonight is your show, right? And I think this is the very, very important movement for you and for African entrepreneurs. You're absolutely great. We want to make you successful so millions and millions of young people in Africa, they can learn from you, they can be inspired by your stories. So, that's it. When I see these people, I just like to see 20 years ago of me. If I could be able to share the experience that I have, that could be something really useful for them.
What was the actual story behind choosing the name of Alibaba? We heard like 3 stories so far.
And easy to spell, right? And A always start whether you're good or not. A is always on top.
Yeah.
And Mr. Jack Ma was always a role model for so many of us, who made it from zero to a huge empire of Alibaba.
So you're very, very busy people. How do you avoid burnout?
I burn out every day. If you don't know how to priority, it's impossible for you to survive.
he really talks about his rejections at the beginning and uses that to inspire other entrepreneurs across the world.
Jack said he's burning out all the time, but I've never seen him burn out because in front of his team, he is always positive energy. That's very, very important. And when you want to burn out, go burn out in private.
Just like we don't cry, we make competitors cry.
Jack Ma having the AMP in Africa is symbolic. China 30, 40 years ago was where Africa is today. That is something that inspires me as a young African. It is possible, not just to create businesses, but to transform society.
Thank you.
All right, so see you in the afternoon.
Thank you.
Okay.
That was amazing. Meeting Jack Ma one-to-one.
Excited, energy.
Pretty good. Meeting the judges is exciting.
Fighting for this.
Wow.
I think you did my eyebrows.
Yeah.
Anything that's not here right now, it won't happen on the show. So there's nothing I can change. It's good. I just have to go and go through with it. I won this competition called Africa Entrepreneurship Award in 2017, and Mahmoud was one of the winners from the year before, 2016. So we actually didn't know each other until ANPI.
I think we both are going to win. We're both going to win.
We're gonna make it to top 3, but I'll be number 1.
I do believe they are all doing amazing businesses, but I do believe as well that all African problems can be boiled down into science.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Africa's Business Hero Show. Tonight, 10 entrepreneurs from the African continent will pitch for a live competition for a share of $1 million in shared money. Our contestants shall have 15 minutes to win over the votes, the likes, and the impressions of our judges. Our first judge right here is Strive Masiwa, founder and executive chairman of Equinite Group, the one and the only Mr. Jack Ma, founder of Alibaba Group, Ms. Ibiku Awoshika. She's the chairman of the First Bank of Nigeria, Mr. Joe Tsai, the executive vice chairman of Alibaba Group. Please let us welcome our very first contestant number 1.
So I'm going to explain today how we intend to craft the global infrastructure for African culture. We are a growing company, a global company from day one.
So why do you need the money from here?
Drugstock is a cloud-based pharmaceutical distribution platform that connects manufacturers of pharmaceutical products to hospitals and pharmacies.
You have a great business model. Don't send us down a rabbit hole.
He occupies strategy, finance, IT, operations, and growth, essentially.
It is impossible to operate a company, have 2 CEOs.
We want to solve the malnutrition problem. It's a very big problem. And by the way, it's not only about children. Egypt alone has 19 million adults that are obese. Now your question.
When you're trying to solve this problem, is really not your business.
Very stressed. Everyone is a rising star, so I'm just thinking how to up the game, do better.
Please welcome Tammy.
Good evening. I would like to show you something. It was the difficult birth of my son that got me obsessed and critically concerned about what was killing African women.
When I gave birth to him, it was a very crazy, difficult birth. It was probably the worst day of my life. Basically, a mom gives birth, and once she starts bleeding, she has between 20 minutes and 2 hours to die.
Every hour, 10 African women bleed to death because their hospital cannot find the critical supply they need to save their lives. LifeBank is a medical distribution company. We help hospitals find the critical supplies they need to save their patient's life. And we deliver these supplies in the right condition and on time in 45 minutes. And we connect blood banks to blood donors. And we've been able to rescue 6,000 people from death. We've grown by 3x every single year. And we're tackling a big market worth over $30 billion. I would like to show you something. That was LifeBank delivering, making our first delivery with drones in Addis Ababa, Ethiopia.
So when Temi went up to pitch, that was the first person who pitched that I was like, oh wow, now I'm scared I'm not gonna win.
Her business is engaging. I felt some pressure.
I think she's gonna be one of the winners.
I think she's just born.
I'm so proud of you. No matter what happens here today, you are going to go places.
Thank you.
Transfer blood is perfect enough. 200 billion, 20 million, just to throw this garbage away. Most of the entrepreneurs I met, they always say, this market is like $1 trillion. So what's the point of view? You are only $5 now. Right? When you get accurate numbers, we know you're serious.
Thank you.
I don't allow anybody else to distract me. And I'm standing here as one person, but I'm representing thousands of people, people who work for me, people who are our partners, the farmers that we work with. This is an opportunity to show a different side of the Liberian story.
This is my mother, and she's the hero for the story I'd like to tell today. And she used almost all of her profits to enroll me into one of the best schools in the country, which laid a solid foundation for my future. When I graduated, I knew that I had to return home to try to contribute in some way to my country's post-war reconstruction effort. You see, in Liberia, palm trees grow everywhere. But unfortunately, most of the smallholder farmers who make palm oil continue to live in poverty for several reasons.
Very fresh palm fruit. Everybody palm fruit is useful. In Liberia, we have about 29,000 smallholder farmers who make palm oil. But a lot of those farmers remain in poverty. This is the traditional way of making palm oil. It's very hard work. Most farmers don't have access to machines. The same amount of work that it takes 8 hours to do by hand, the machine can do the same amount of work in about 30 minutes.
And so J-Palm solves what is essentially a last mile problem. We travel to very rural areas and set up simple machines that enable farmers to produce the oils much more efficiently. They use it to make the oils. We take about 10% of the oils.
I'd like to understand your business model a little bit better. So what's your source of revenue?
The source of revenue is from the products that we make, from the oil. We have lotions, soaps, basically whatever product you have in your bathroom we want to be able to create for skin and hair care.
I smell very good.
I feel
yeah.
very good.
Who designed this? You know,
I designed it.
You designed this?
Yes.
Good.
Everybody we have, I made for the first time. So now we're almost done. I'm the first person to test all the products. I would make them, I would test them out, see how they work for me, and then we'll bring it and share it with everybody else here. No, you love it.
It is difficult for people to accept local products. After the war, it became easier to just import things than to produce it because the war eroded almost all of the manufacturing base of Liberia. When we started, there was a perception that made-in-Liberia products were of inferior quality. You had to be able to prove to the customer that we're able to create, not just create good products, but to be able to create good products consistently.
When did you make this up?
I think we made it in August.
August, okay.
For every dollar of palm oil sold, compared to the skincare products, the difference is about 46 times, so that we can make the business model more solid and more sustainable and impact the lives of more farmers.
But this business is about marketing and it's about distribution. Okay, who's the customer? Who are you selling to? How many units?
Okay. The big brands are not coming to...
No, don't go there. We don't have a lot of time. This is your product.
We're selling to Liberian consumers.
Yep.
Yes.
I'm clear that you are smart enough to secure your supply. I need you to be sharper about who is your market. Who are you selling this to?
His business is stable, but I think the judges have caught some questions. You should be very specific about your business model.
To be clear about what is your business, okay?
Ladies and gentlemen, I'm sure you've all been holding your breath at this point.
I was so scared. I felt like from the jury, maybe they're also not understanding the water sector.
2 billion people still don't have access to clean water. And then I wondered, is it still okay to assume that women and children in this century should still work for water? Rather than see this as a problem, I saw this as a market opportunity, a 500 million people market.
To do one system, it would take us $25,000. That's a lot of money. So that's why we approach government, NGOs, and investors to help us come up with that money. So we drill underground, we find the water aquifer, and we put pipe inside the borehole.
This is the borehole. That's where water is coming from underground. Once the water is filtered, some goes to house connections, and some of it from the tank he can sell from here.
We designed a new system that operated using solar pumps, Inuma kiosk. So when Inuma water was flowing, I was so full of joy. Family only has to pay $0.1 for every 10 liters. So right now, 47,600 people are using our water points on a regular basis.
I wanna be like Jack Ma.